thoughts changed at all about wanting to do this long term?
No, I'm not wavering, man. I've loved it. Like I said, I've had a great time. I know I'm the most popular guy in the room right now, right? I mean, this has been fantastic. It's crazy for me because I went from being in the media to not paying any attention purposely, right? Because I know, I mean, you know, I'm sure not everything written about us or me is positive. I'm good with that. I knew kind of what I was signing up for, but man, I've loved this. I've had a great time. I love the unity in the locker room. I love the staff and working with guys and the strategy that goes in with this. And so, you know, again, this has been a lot of fun. Again, W's make things a lot more fun, but that's where we got to get to.
Yeah, very astute observation by Jeff Saturday. When you lose 54-19 in prime time, there are going to be some negative things written about you and your team. That's for sure. And there has been plenty of questions about whether or not he deserved the opportunity to be the interim coach, to audition for half of a season to become the full-time permanent head coach. And Chris, I think Jim Irsay is going to hire him. I think it's a done deal. I really do, unless he decides he's going to spend a crap load of money to go get Sean Payton and try to pair him up with Tom Brady or something really over the top, outside the box like that. I think he hired Saturday when he did because he wants to lay the foundation to make Saturday the coach next year. And you know, he will have taken all the heat during the season, and it will seem less shocking when Saturday gets the job after the season.
It feels like that. I mean, it does. It feels like we're headed in that direction. And again, it hasn't been bad. Yeah, I mean, it's 1-3. I get that. But it's toe-to-toe with
They could have beaten the Eagles.
Yeah, toe-to-toe with the Eagles.
That's right.
Really had a chance to beat the Steelers. The game was very even, you know, throughout. And then, you know, even the Cowboys game, I know they got blown out. And again, I mean, hey, they lost by a lot. I get it. But, it wasn't – I don't think that score was true story of the game. It was 21-19 with 11 minutes left. And, yeah, right. They made some mistakes, and then all of a sudden they were down, and then now you got desperate, and you try to, wait, we got to push the envelope to try to come back, and then another mistake happens. And so, I mean, from all due accounts, it hasn't looked bad. It certainly hasn't looked maybe what we expected with a guy as a first-time head coach. That's for sure.
After his first game, the win over the Raiders, it looked like, hey, maybe Jeff Saturday will be coach of the year. If he could turn it around and get the team to the playoffs, he would have been a real candidate. We're going to draft the current coach of the year candidates, the guys most likely to win. BetMGM has the odds as they currently stand. No surprise, Nick Sirianni, the overwhelming favorite. A little surprised to see Dan Campbell as high as he is.
It's interesting that two guys out of the
1-6.
Right. It's interesting to see two guys out of the playoffs right now, and Campbell and Saleh being number 2 and 3. In the award, the Coach of the Year, award there. I am a little surprised by that. That's kind of rare.
All right, go ahead and make your first pick. Who do you got?
I'm just gonna take the guy at the top of the list. I'm gonna go with Nick Sirianni. Again, it's. I know we thought they would be good, but to deliver on the expectations and then some, I think deserves some credit too. And we've all talked about, there's no great team in the NFL this year. There is. The Eagles are great. They're great. There's no weakness to their team. And then I think when you add on the fact of, they're running an offense that he and Shane Steichen, they have no history in. They started this offense because they went, wait, our quarterback, he's got a different skill set. And he's not the type that's going to be like drop back 40 times a game and pick you apart. So let's invent something new. And he deserves some credit for that too. So Sirianni's the obvious choice to be number 1 there.
And look, the reality is Coach of the Year is the guy who most impressively exceeds the loose expectations for his team going into the year, which is why Bill Belichick never wins it unless he goes undefeated like he did in 2007. We expect him to be good. Andy Reid, we expect him to be good. Sean McDermott, we expect the Bills to be the number 1 seed in the AFC. So how's he going to exceed expectations? So that's why Sirianni is currently the favorite. First one for me, against that backdrop, and I'm looking at it from the standpoint of who I think will win it. Not who the best coach has been this year, but who will win it. And I love plus 4,000 odds for Kyle Shanahan. I mean, you go from Trey Lance to Jimmy G to Brock Purdy. Joe Gibbs won Super Bowls with 3 different quarterbacks over a period of a decade. This guy may win a Super Bowl going through 3 quarterbacks in 1 year, Chris. And he never gets any credit.
I'm glad. I'm mad you took him. I didn't think you would take him. I did not. I was going to take him next. I don't understand. He's not even in the conversation sometimes. You don't even hear it. And you're like, wait, he's the GM and built the team. He has final say and picks these guys. And then, yes, the quarterback situation, which, hey, you can surely some of it to blame on him. But the facts are this year that they've lost 2 starters and they're on a 3rd stringer, like you said. And we're sitting here going, hey, with their 3rd stringer, what's a good matchup that they could be in the Super Bowl? I think it says it all, Mike, to your point. So you're right. I don't understand that. And I think we could argue that, in a lot of ways, he might have got screwed over a few years ago when John Harbaugh nudged them out and they were the number 1 seed in the year they went to the Super Bowl. So I'm glad you threw him in there. He certainly was one that jumped out to me. I think the next one you go with here is I think Mike McDaniel is probably the next one I'll take here. It's a close one. There's another guy here on the list that I went back and forth with, but I think Mike McDaniel, you said it right. It's the exceeding of expectations. And then a quarterback that we all had questions about, making him look like a viable NFL starting quarterback. And then the offense just exploding onto the scene. I mean, I don't think anybody saw that. We all thought, ooh, they have the chance to be dangerous. But, I mean, they are the most dangerous offense in football. And Tua gets back on track, we'll see that. But I think Mike McDaniel would be a guy that's towards the top of the list for me.
Can we put the graphic back up? I'm curious where the odds are for the one I'm about to pick next because he is not a favorite. I think he's a guy who very well could win it. He's not even on this board. That's Ron Rivera, the Commanders coach. We talked last segment about how they could end up, or 2 segments ago, I really can't remember, about how they could end up disrupting this presumptive Cowboys or Eagles or 49ers NFC representative in the Super Bowl. And if they get in, as they would be the 6th seed most likely, I think we need to take it very seriously when you consider all of the crap that team's had to deal with.
I hear you.
We've heard players say, man, we got to deal with a lot of crap, all coming from ownership, all coming from the top of the organization, all the ways they've shot themselves in the foot in the past. They continue to do so to this day. And Rivera is the one beacon who is leading the football team through this 500 yards of foulest smelling you-know-what. I think he deserves consideration. There are the selections so far. 1 round to go. Coach of the Year for 2022. Chris, who do you have in round 3?
It really is interesting in the fact that I feel like we have candidates here where they're worthy of winning it, even though they might not go to the playoffs. It is odd. We don't have a lot of years like that. I mean, Daboll, Dan Campbell, Robert Saleh, they all far exceeded expectations. But the guy I'm going to go with is, Kevin O'Connell for your Vikings. Yeah, I got to pick him. I mean, we didn't see this. I mean, we'll see how it goes. I don't expect a deep run in the playoffs, but still the fact that they have found late game magic and won some of these games where you feel like they've been outplayed, I think is something to do with his positive vibe he's put on the organization, the confidence and cockiness maybe he's instilled in the football team to a degree to think we're going to get it done. So Kevin O'Connell will be my last choice.
Yeah, and look, they're 10-3 right now. They're probably going to finish 12-5. I could see them win the next 2, lose the next 2, or just win a combination of 2 of the next 4. So 12-5 after everything that team's gone through and how he's turned the vibe around and really embraced the players. Even though the defense is horrible, it may be enough to get him some consideration. Last one for me. And this is a guy who, talk about working through distractions and constantly having an arm tied behind your back and not having your starting quarterback for 5 or 6 weeks and making it work. Mike McCarthy. Why is he not getting? Do we have the graphic? Where is he on there? He should be higher on the list. And maybe there's value there for anyone out there inclined to bet on Coach of the Year. But McCarthy's done really well this year. He entered the season. He's plus 2,200. There he is, 22-1. He entered the season on the hot seat. Oh, it's just a matter of time before Jerry Jones finally hires Sean Payton. He's wanted to hire him for years. He almost hired him early 2019. It's just a matter of time before it happens now. Well, that talk ended pretty quickly, and I think McCarthy's going to stick around. He's done well. He's going to be the 5 seed, which is nothing to sneeze at, and they still have a chance in theory to catch the Eagles, and they have them on Christmas Eve in Dallas. That should be a hell of a game, Chris.
Yeah, no.
Maybe they could still win that division. If they win that division and end up the 1 seed, McCarthy is the coach of the year.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, they're going to be a strong 5 seed. We know that. And he's managed game situations. They haven't had as many penalties this year. Those have all been positives for sure in Dallas.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.